Alrighty, good morning everyone and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. Today is Monday the 15th of May,
Big ups
2023,
everybody.
and of course, I'm DSP and I welcome you here to the show. I hope that you're all doing well as we begin a new streaming week. Well, actually, it's more than halfway through the streaming week for me, but as you know, starting off kind of a new week of school and work for everyone, I'm sure. Good stuff coming today. Great gameplay variety. I'm actually excited that we're flipping the games over because, after you play one or two games a lot, you want a little bit of a break. And in regards to Zelda, I feel like we're just scraping the surface, and today we're actually going to get into the meat of it. So I'm very excited to be playing Zelda as the main stream. But also today, one important thing, in just a second here, as we start talking about the gaming schedule for the week, you guys are going to be a major part of determining what we play tomorrow. Because I'm going to do a poll overnight where you guys are going to vote on the game for tomorrow. And depending on how you vote will actually determine the order of games that I play both Tuesday and then when I get back from my break on Thursday and Friday. So, yeah, you literally will have the reins this week to, controlling the first early stream. So that's something kind of cool. We'll talk about in a second. Another thing I definitely want to talk about today is monetization on YouTube, how it's changed over the years, and why content creators have had to change their philosophies and strategy when it comes to making content in the last 5 years or so. Particularly, one of the things that I've been trying to do for you guys is make fun YouTube shorts. And I feel like YouTube shorts are a way to highlight funny moments from streams and maybe get someone to check out a playthrough that maybe they wouldn't have previously. For example, I made 2 different Star Wars Jedi Survivor shorts recently that I think highlighted some of the problems with the game and people found them funny. But the problem with YouTube shorts is that they don't allow for any naughty words. I'm serious. If you put a naughty word into a YouTube short, it's instant demonetization, and essentially it gets kicked out of any chance of being featured in the algorithm. So there's no way that you're ever going to get any kind of traction out of the short.
Yes, I experienced that today for the first time.
That YouTube has dramatically changed from how it used to be. And we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning because you may have noticed over the last few years some of your favorite content creators have changed the way that they actually make content. All right,
that's how it's
not
always been for me,
but most others. I've distinctly noticed this in the last few years. The way that people are talking and acting on YouTube has distinctly changed because people want to make money, and that's kind of interesting because the way we got here is literally the polar opposite. We'll talk about that anyway, but also we got
that's why we have a moment of silence now at the beginning of every video
going on. So we'll talk about all that stuff. All right, but I hope you're all having a good Monday morning.
I'll see you in 2 minutes.
And I hope that you're all ready for some fun today. Full gaming. As you can see, Jasper is in the office today, and he will be available to kind of hang out for this stream if he feels like it. It's
okay. I can wait 2 minutes.
I got
2 minutes.
Let's see. Right now, he's playing with my charge cable for my neck phones, which is fine. He doesn't like do anything. He just boops it around. I just hope he doesn't start chewing wires. That's when we get a problem. But yeah, he'll be available to join us for Zelda today. It is incredibly hot in Washington State today. Yesterday, we hit record highs of 90 degrees, and today we are slated to be even hotter. It is the hottest it has ever been in recorded history in this state today. Right now, it's around 84 outside,
I'm fact checking.
It's not even full sun. It's supposed to get into the low 90s, so I have all the air conditioners in the house bumping. The house is cool because we got them on early.
Don't worry, I got my other tab up. I'm looking right
now. It's actually not on full blast because I had it on for like an hour before I started streaming, so the room is very cool. But as it warms up, you might hear it going on and off again. Nothing I can really do. I know it's abnormally early for me to be doing this. Normally, I wouldn't have the air conditioner on, hopefully, until like June, July, but there's nothing I can really do about that. The heat has come so early this year. It was actually interesting.
Here we go. Easy.
I found, I read a news article. Well, a news story, I should say. Not really an article, but a news story from our local news.
Okay, so the highest temperature ever recorded in Renton, 6/28/21, 2021, 112. Highest heat index, 122. So yeah, so it's hotter than 112 today. Damn, Phil. The hottest it's ever been. Highest recorded temperature. Damn. I'm so sorry for you. Oh, wait. How hot was it again? 80? 85? Oh, okay.
out here that
What?
as of, around 10 years
What
ago,
the fuck?
only 20% of the homes in Washington state where I live, this is the Pacific Northwest of the United States, this region, only 20%,
It's 80
that's
degrees.
one-fifth of homes had air conditioning.
What are you
But
talking about?
we have had such an incremental, exponential increase in heat over the last 10
You just
years
said.
that every
It's
home
the
that gets
hottest
built
it's
now
ever
has
been
air
here.
conditioning installed by default.
He didn't just say it's the hottest it's ever been. He said it was the highest recorded temperature ever. What?
And it's pretty crazy that the climate's
Phil,
changing
you're amazing,
that fast.
dude.
But
You're absolutely
again,
amazing.
I was house hunting in 2014, and when in 2014 I was told, oh, it's always rainy and cool out here. People complain all the time.
All right, let me get some hash in me, dude, so I can
and that's why a lot of people don't like being out here. They say they're
relax
depressed
a little bit
because the weather is so cool and rainy all the time. And then I moved out here, and it was like immediate hot summer, immediate hot summer, immediate hot summer. Like every year, it was giant hot summer. I was like, people said this didn't exist, but it has every year since I've lived here. It's like the hot weather followed me from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States. So it is what it is, but I'm prepared for it. And I hope that it doesn't hinder the streams too much. I mean, I think you guys are getting used to it now. The air conditioner's kind of been on for about a week, and I think you're getting used to the noise, right? It sucks. I like having fresh air. I like having nice wind blowing in from the window. There's not much.
I'm beating a dead horse now, Phil, but you're making everybody listen to the air conditioner. It takes 5 minutes to put some VST filters on your microphone in OBS to eliminate every sound you would hear. But no, you can't do that, can you?
I can do about that. Okay.
You don't even know what a VST
That's correct.
plugin
I
is, do
caused
you?
the climate change. I moved and I brought the climate change with me. It's absolutely correct. It must be all the greenhouse gases coming out of my derriere, of course. Anyway, so where to begin today? Because we have a lot to talk about. All right. Just a quick reminder,
89?
ladies and gentlemen. So far this week has gone really well when it comes to
I lived in a
progress in all the games I'm playing, chill vibes on the streams, keeping drama out of the streams. Yes, there have been a couple attempts of idiots to try to come in here and derail stuff, and I have handled it, as well as the moderators. I want to say thank you to the moderators who have always also helped with this week. We don't want any bullshit from the outside of this stream coming in. This is a place where we're supposed to focus on positivity and fun with gaming and a good social interaction. I don't care about any of the nonsense, white noise of idiots from outside of here doing stuff. I don't even want to know about it. Last night we had direct derailment. People trying to come in and derail my shit. I said, shut up. We don't care. And I continued on, and we made great progress in the Oblivion Shivering Isles DLC because I was able to stop that and not get derailed. So that was a good thing, and now we're almost done with the DLC. So anyway, let's keep that going. And in addition to that, obviously, I should bring up the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, we have had 8 straight streams this week. That is 8 straight
Oh, yes, the Vest Street, great. Yeah, I lived in Palm Beach County for like 10 years. I think the hottest it was ever was like, I think it was like 115, 116 was like the hottest day ever that I felt there in like 10 years.
Streams where we have hit all of my support goals.
Yeah,
that is unprecedented.
It's BegCon 0 right
I don't
now,
think
dude.
we've done that since 2020 and the Vest Street.
It's almost like
8
the more
straight
money he
freaking
gets,
streams. That's
the
nuts,
more he
okay?
begs.
And obviously, I
which
want to
is
say
weird,
thank you to anyone who has hung out,
it's really
engaged, participated, supported in any way in this streaming week. Obviously, this was not something that I was expecting, nor is it something that I'm expecting to continue forever. And at any moment it can end, and that's fine. But it's cool that we're keeping this momentum going. But as you know, I've learned from my mistakes 3 years ago when we first had a streak like this. I made the streams a lot about that. We had a Vest streak counter down there. We're not doing any of that because sadly, when this happens and it becomes
that's a good
all about that, that's literally derailing of all the content of the stream. I mean it. Like what ends up happening is everyone just wants to focus on that and doesn't care about the content of the stream.
Yeah, all the money's
and that's
gone
not what
already,
the stream
dude.
is about. It's not.
He needs more now.
If this stream right now I'm doing right now ended up being really slow, that's fine. It's okay. Had a great week so far. It's not the end of the world. The sky isn't falling. And it's not about that. It's not. It's about making fun content, meaningful content for an audience that appreciates the content I put out for them. It's not about making a ton of money every stream. It's ridiculous. Now, if it gets that level of support, I mean, that's outstanding, and I'm incredibly grateful. So thank you to everyone who has been keeping this up.
Determined that
and it's
was
funny
a
because,
lie.
some people have been saying that, it's all one person. But the funny part is, Yesterday, we actually hit all of my support goals on the first stream before that particular person even contributed at all or showed up to the stream. They showed up later, and it was like, whoa, we already hit all the goals. So this is awesome. And, this kind of momentum is good.
What's up, Grimfang?
And here's why.
Hold up.
We're about to head into a really epic month. I feel like the month of June is going to be very good. Why? Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, all the new game events and releases all coming out at once. You're going to have things like Summer Game Fest, the Microsoft press conference with the Starfield event. There's going to be a Sony event. There's probably going to be Nintendo, and all these games are going to start releasing all their information. And then later on in the month, it's Final Fantasy 16. So there's a lot of huge high-profile things happening in June. To head into a month like that with good momentum is a great thing. Rather than being slow and stagnant, things are actually pretty good on streams right now. When we get to attendance, we get to engagement, and again, this week's support has been absolutely outstanding. So you keep that momentum going, heading into June, that's great. Now, again, not the end of the world if we don't. But I just want to take the time out to say thank you. You guys have been amazing.
That's the most they're going to get.
It absolutely happened. And this is in every regard, too. Even though I say, we're hitting our support goals, and obviously that's mentioning.
I could never imagine having people mod in my chat and not compensate them. Like, if I ever needed somebody to mod, and where I had to like go out of my way to be like, yo, can you mod for me? Like, I would at that point I would already be prepared to like pay them money, Like, I would never ask somebody to do some shit for free like that, dude.
Like a tip level, we had a tremendous amount of memberships, gifted memberships, and even super chats.
That's like the norm though for a lot of people.
For some odd reason, I don't know what prompted it because I didn't do anything different.
People are just like,
but I'm definitely happy and grateful for it.
I guess people
so
want to mod.
Thank you guys so very much for that.
Like, they want the power.
But again, I will reiterate something. That's not what the stream is all about. So if I see people coming in here,
is it
okay?
No.
And
chargebacks.
If I see people basically doing things such as completely talking only about that, or even going after and harassing people in the chat who have been supporters this week, I'm not putting up with that. It's not allowed. If I see people bothering people and stuff, it's not going to be allowed.
Nice
already, you got to understand these idiots on the internet make up the biggest stuff. So far, here's what I've heard. You ready? This is a secret plot by all of my detractors. It's all a setup. The entire week of support is a complete setup. It's all fake support. Really. It's all fake. It's an evil plan, get this, between Secret Limited, Keemstar, and others. They're all plotting behind the scenes to give me good support this week and then pull the rug out from under me afterward. And it's all because they're making an in-depth documentary, and they're talking about it every night on Discord. They have this secret Discord group that the detractors are talking on Discord about plotting my downfall.
I want to be in that Discord,
and
dude.
all of this stuff. It's just hilarious. The shit you hear, it's like,
I need to get in that Discord.
And the sad fact is, to some extent, you have to believe some of this is probably true. I'm not saying the specifics of people plotting and stuff.
I know I don't really
I'm just
do
saying
much,
there's people who probably actually do this kind of like talking about.
I want to put in some work. Keem, hit me up.
They believe this nonsense. They're nuts. They're fucking nuts. That's how crazy these people are. But to me, I just kind of laugh, and like, whatever. You laugh with it, you're like, dude. And here's the good news. It has nothing to do with my streams, right? Today, we're going to have a great time. We're going to play games. We're going to have fun interactions. We're going to, make progress, have a good time together, and that's what it is all about. It's not about any of the white noise from the outside of the stream.
He's got it dead on.
It's funny because people who come here and just chill with me every day have a great time. All the bullshit and drama and nonsense comes from people outside of this stream trying to ride the coattails of what I do on YouTube. And I don't care about them. I don't need to hear about this person's doing this, restreaming this, saying this. Nobody cares. It has nothing to do with me. I'm ignoring it all because that's the best course of action at this point. Like I said earlier this year, I realized pretty much no one on YouTube is interested in giving anyone a fair shake or exposing any kind of truth. What they're into is stirring up drama for personal gain. So I'm not going to be involving myself with any people. Trust me, this month we've got to really focus on the games I'm playing. We have to get as far into Zelda, Star Wars, and Elden Ring as we can and finish up what we can by the end of the month, because when June hits, I'm going to be so busy with Street Fighter and other games, but a lot of Street Fighter.
You got to rush these games, Phil.
I don't have time for bullshit. I'm not going to be wasting time on special streams talking about nonsense and addressing bullshit. I don't care. Let them do their own crap outside of the streams. Let them, oh, but someone's trying to talk to you. Someone wants to reach you about this or that. No one gives a fuck. Me, the least. I don't care about any of these people. Leave that shit off the streams. It's against the rules anyway. As you can see, I got it pinned on the stream. No drama from outside the stream. Let's just have a great time here on the streams together and continue forward positively, right? Sound good? All right. So, that being said,
Holy fuck, I needed that.
let's jump into our usual business, shall we? Let's talk about the schedule, because today's schedule is interesting because we're going to have a poll to determine what we're doing tomorrow. All right, so today it's going to be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, continuing on. Of course, I almost said Breath of the Wild. Today's stream will be interesting because we're finally going to be able to head into the true open world of the game. I thought we were doing that on Saturday night. Come to find out, there was more tutorial Saturday night. And we ended up doing a tutorial, The Depths, which is this underground world and other things. Finally now, we've hit the open world where we can do whatever we want. And we already have a direction. Like, there's a big tower right in front of us we're going to explore. And this tower is going to allow us to open up parts of the map and everything. So that's what we're going to do today is open world exploration, likely hitting up a bunch of the challenge temples, looking for items, looking for map, and hopefully moving towards one of the optional, or not optional, the main story objectives. I believe there's 4 points on the map that they're telling you
You're just
to
going
move
to
towards.
complain about everything, Phil.
So I'll try to head in one of those general directions today. Now, how far will we get in 3 hours? I don't know. People are saying this game is 100 hours long. So in 3 hours, you know, you think, wow, well, we'll make progress, but how much progress realistically will we even make? I guess we'll have to see.
Is that good for a Zelda game?
You know,
Is that
I
a lot
almost
for a
feel
Zelda
like
game?
a game this big, it almost feels like everything is just a drop in the bucket. Like, very.
He's saying 100 hours like it's like a... When somebody says 100 hours, that if somebody was like, yo, I got 100 hours in a game, I'd be like, okay, you just started the game. Right? Because typically people are like, oh, I got 5K. It's like, whoa, you're no-lifing it, you know? Or like, I mean, I have like 2,500 hours in Tarkov, right? Which I regret because the game is complete dog shit and I regret ever playing it. I don't play it anymore, but I mean, 2,000 is a lot of hours. 100? I mean, I could do 100 hours in a game in like, what, 2 weeks maybe? Without trying much?
Very well today. We might complete 5 temples, get 2 big upgrades, find some optional great weapons and items, and unlock a big part of the map. Well, it's like you have completed 1% of the game. Like,
it's probably because Phil doesn't
right?
Phil doesn't
but
play those
I guess
games.
we'll see. All right, let's see how it goes. I am excited because,
Phil
like I said, I like the elements of the game. Although, admittedly, one thing I might do is we already talked about. I might skip the optional puzzle objectives inside of the temples. I've done 8 temples so far, and every single one I've done the optional objective, and every single one has been a waste of my time. The items in the temples are a joke, like arrows or a stamina elixir, of which you already have 2 because you can craft them at any campfire in the game. So why did I bother doing the puzzle, right?
That's every game, dude.
So I guess we'll see how it goes.
That's every game.
And hopefully it'll be still interactive
with
fun.
just regular items,
wandering
like,
an open
that's
world
literally Zelda.
with not really much direction. There'll be ample opportunity for us to relax, to have fun conversation. I want it to be that kind of a stream. And depending on how today goes, it may determine moving forward how often I play Zelda as a daytime stream or not. Because if it does cater itself more to a late night chill stream, then maybe we'll do that with it. You know what I'm saying? I guess we'll have to see. But anyway, let's see how it goes today as the main stream. Okay?
Still playing. What's the appeal of that game for you? Conan Exiles? Like, I remember when it came out, and I thought it just turned into like a meme game where like it was just like, oh, Conan Exiles, you know? Is that like, it must be a good game if you could put 2,000 hours into it. The only thing I remember about that game is I would watch these YouTube videos where YouTubers would like, eventually you could summon like your god or whatever, and people would just like summon the god, and it just completely like wipes out. It'll just wipe out anything. So it was just wiping out people's bases and shit. That's pretty entertaining.
Then on tonight's late stream at 6:45 p.m.
I didn't know people still play that game though. That's crazy.
It will be the continuation of Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. Great playthrough so far. I'm actually glad I'm playing this one because this one I know a lot about from my previous playing of it off YouTube. I've never played this as I've been a YouTuber. It's been that long, so it's been like over
It was
15 years
faceless,
since I
yeah.
played the game.
Faceless.
And it's fun because the music remixes are great. The graphics are improved,
I just don't want to listen to Phil.
The job
dude.
system is very fun to jump around in. And because it's an old school RPG, again, there's ample opportunity for us to kind of talk and interact and chill rather than worry too much about being hyper-focused on the game. It's a great playthrough. So I'm looking forward to more tonight. If you like old school RPGs or you just like chill, relaxing fun, I hope to see you on the late stream tonight for Final Fantasy V. Okay? Now, let's talk about tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's main stream is in your hands. And here's why.
It's not.
Right now, I have 3 games that I'm playing.
It's not, Phil.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring's Glintstone Magic Run, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. All 3 playthroughs are good in my opinion at this point. Like, we're in good points, they're exciting, interesting. Every time I play them, good advancement. You know, I'm having a good time with it. I don't really mind any of those games tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the power in your hands to determine what game that we play tomorrow. All right? I'm going to make a poll literally right now live here on DSP Gaming. I'm going to head over to the community tab, and I'm going to post up a poll for you guys to vote on what game you want to see tomorrow's main gameplay stream. Now, here's something neat that YouTube has finally done. They instituted a timer for polls, which I can't believe it took them that long. It did take them that long. But now you can actually put a timer on a poll. All right? So
YouTube is a beta, dude.
I'm trying to think how you do it. Let me actually refresh, because I haven't refreshed my page in a while.
YouTube is in beta.
And I want to make sure that all that stuff is there. So if I go over here, here we are. We're on the community tab. All right. And if I click on text poll, which is what I want to do, a text poll, visibility will be public. Okay. I'm trying this now because it's something new they added. Text poll. Okay. So there's going to be 3 options. So far, I don't see anything about timing. But I think once I get ready to post, that's when you can pick your timing. So, which game should Phil play
today,
on the first
Junior
stream for Tuesday, May 16th?
Kid can barely read.
The runners up will be played later on in the week. Good luck.
Is the mic
So
okay
option number
for you guys,
1
or is it too loud?
will be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Or
Option
too
number 2,
not loud
Star
enough, maybe?
Wars Jedi Survivor.
Should I make
and
a poll?
option number 3, Elden
We can
Ring,
make a poll in the community tab, guys.
the Glintstone
Is my microphone
Magic Run. Now,
is
it says post, but there's an
my
arrow, and if I click the arrow, schedule post.
microphone
Okay, I don't see a way to make the
too
post close. I'm going to post
loud?
up the poll and see what happens. So I
Okay.
hit post.
Okay, let me know.
There it is. So the poll is live. And if I click on edit,
It's live.
now all I could do is delete.
Bro,
So I
give
think
me
they're
a
full of crap.
play-by-play, Phil.
Because YouTube had claimed you were going to be able to put up a timed post that should expire at a certain time and then go away.
Phil, you didn't test
That's not
this
available.
beforehand?
I just looked. It's not there. So they lied. They claimed this new feature launched, and it's not there. Unless they somehow magically hidden it somewhere else.
No, they didn't lie, Phil. What I'm sure happened was that they're just doing it like a rollout. They do all their features like a rollout thing. It's like nobody knows how it works, Phil. A couple people will get it, you know. It trickles out. It's like they're just pissing it out. And you get a little bit at a time.
It's not there. Anyway, so that poll is now live on the community tab of DSP
Anyway,
Gaming.
nobody cares, Phil.
Please vote. I'm going to have
Nobody
that poll run
any
overnight.
shits.
And depending on how you guys vote overnight, that'll determine what game we play in the morning.
Overnight?
Usually these polls, by the night, the night
Oh my
before, we
God.
always kind of know what it's going to be. So I'm curious what you guys are going to vote for. Maybe I'll even check on
Trolls
that
are
by the end
firing
of
up
the
the
podcast
VPNs
and see
right
how the
now,
voting
dude.
is going. But again, Zelda, Star Wars, Elden Ring. So please check it out. Please vote. See, if they had
no.
allowed for timed polls, then what I could have done is posted that up and had it be so that, it's only live
Bro,
for exactly 24
we
hours.
haven't
So
even-
the polling would end during tomorrow's podcast,
Bro.
and It's locked in at a
This
finale.
isn't a
Then it's it.
podcast,
As of
dude.
now, these polls are endless. They literally
you're
just go on forever, and people can continue to
talking
vote
about
on them for
nothing,
years
dude.
unless you delete the post. So I don't know how they haven't figured out that timing.
You ever watch a real podcast, dude? They have topics, and they stay on topic, and they're entertaining. First and foremost, they're entertaining, Phil. You're hitting none of the marks here.
On a post would make any sense. Where
This
is the
not a
poll? I'm gonna
podcast,
say it one
dude.
more time. Main channel of DSP Gaming, community tab. There's the post right there. There's the poll. Please vote. Okay, and it's live now. Please vote for it, and let's see what wins. I'm very curious to see what will win and what you guys want to see me play tomorrow.
Interview somebody.
Now here's how it's gonna work.
Have
whatever
somebody
gets
on your
first
podcast.
place is what we're playing tomorrow on the first stream. I'm down for whatever
Have
you
a
guys vote
panel.
for.
Why
Whatever
doesn't he
comes
do
in
that?
second place will be the main stream on Thursday. When
I mean, I know why he doesn't. I know why he doesn't talk to anybody. It's because he wants to stay in his. He's comfortable in his little like money bubble on his stream. But like, dude, like, you gotta like do something entertaining. Like, have a panel, have a StreamYard panel, have somebody on your podcast that you can talk to. It's just you every day begging for money, dude. Like, it's not entertaining, dude. It's super boring and annoying, dude. And it makes everybody hate you.
I get back from my break, because Wednesday is my break off from streaming this week.
I try to give
third
him
place
advice,
will be played
dude. Like,
on Friday. So the order you vote will directly determine
never see
the
this,
order
so it
of
doesn't
games that
matter.
we play this week. Fair enough? Okay. So that is going to be the mainstream tomorrow, is dependent on you. But tomorrow night's
You
late
wouldn't do
stream
it
at
anyway,
6:45
you
p.m.
know?
Pacific time will be the continuation of Oblivion Shivering Isles DLC. We are now at the very end of it. Like, we got to the tippity end of the
How is
DLC
this
last
entertaining
night.
for anybody, dude?
The last part, and then the game's like, oh, look, here's another leg of the quest. We have to go to another cave you've never been to, probably fight more generic enemies, meet another generic person, charge up a fucking staff, and then get to the end of it. It's like, this DLC has not been
They're just
good. I'm just going to
regarded,
be
dude.
very blatantly transparent with my thoughts here. It's just a boring DLC. I think that the Shivering Isles DLC has actually been very poor. It's literally, go here, fight a million generic enemies. Go here, fight a million generic enemies and grab items between them. Go here, fight a million generic enemies. There's been one quest
Hold on,
in the
Phil, I
entire
wanna
DLC
zoom
that
in.
was interesting. It was a conspiracy quest where someone thought that someone was trying
Oh,
to
see, now
conspire
what happened
against
with
them.
this?
And you
Hold
had to
on.
do a few kind of dialogue challenges and things in order to actually
I'll
like
just-
figure out the end
Phil,
of the quest and what was really going on.
this
That
is-
was interesting.
I'm just gonna be over here
Literally the
working on
entire
my-
DLC
my
is go
stream,
here,
okay,
fight,
working on
go
the
here,
layout.
fight, go here, fight. Or in my case, since I have no healing items, go here and run past all the enemies. Go here and run past all the enemies. And it really seems to me like this is supposed to be a DLC you're supposed to play after you've beaten the game. People actually explained to me Shivering Isles came out a year after Oblivion had been released. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So it literally is supposed to be you beat the entire game, you've been waiting a year craving for more Oblivion content, and now you get more of the same. I wasn't looking for more of the same. If you take a look at DLCs for games like Fallout or even Skyrim, a lot of that
Okay. Whoop. Oops, that was Twitch. Supposed to mute that. Wait, that just threw me off. What was he?
content is just very
I was
different
gonna say something.
from what's the mainline stuff in the game, and that's why I felt it was special and fun. In this case, this DLC is just boring. You know,
Oh, like he's complaining about the enemies like being too strong, and he's like, "Oh, this came out a year after. It's supposed to be like end game shit." But didn't he beat the game before he played the DLC? Like, what happened? Did he just not level up enough? Did he not? Well, of course not. He probably just did the bare minimum. So I don't know. I guess that's why he's getting his ass kicked, because he didn't get strong enough. I don't know.
is there some interesting writing for Shio-Garath? You know, he's kind of a crazy character.
Oh, that's what I was asking. Yeah, the other day I was like, I wasn't even sure if he beat the game. He didn't even beat the game, but he knows that it's in. Oh my god! See, just when I give you like an ounce of credit, Phil, yeah, it evaporates. You didn't even beat the game. Why are you playing endgame shit? Wait, how did they convince you to get the DLC? Oh my god, they trolled you, Phil. They actually trolled you.
Yeah, and it's all right. But a lot of the stuff is just kind of dark and twisted. Oh, look, we're torturing people. Look, we ripped body parts apart, and you're making a Frankenstein monster's gory. I'm like, what is this?
So?
Like, this isn't even like the spirit of
Yeah, but Scorn was fine. Scorn's cool.
Oblivion. When you really think about it, it's really weird.
I don't know, dude.
But now we're at the end, finally. I'm like, all right, we played it. At least now I could say I experienced it. I wasn't too impressed, but we're going to finish it up tomorrow night.
Yeah, and it's
then we're
an
going to move
old
back
game,
into the main
dude.
storyline of
It's an
Oblivion, which
old
we're
game.
actually nearing the end of. So I figure a few
Like-
more night streams and we will actually wrap up the Oblivion playthrough, probably a little over 80.
I don't know if any of you were watching him play this last time, but he was complaining about a fetch quest. He's like, "Oh, don't they know that fetch quests are played out?" I'm like, "Phil, this is an old game. When this game came out, fetch quests were still like okay, people weren't tired of them yet." But, he doesn't have the brain capacity to think about that, I guess.
hours, which will be a good length. And quite frankly, after playing this game for about 5.5 months, it is around time to start finishing it up so we can do other things. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really
told him not to get it?
expecting
Oh, I
to
thought-
wrap this up
I thought-
sooner rather than later.
I saw a
which
bunch
is
of people
good,
telling him
'cause
to
that'll be a
get
night
it.
stream opened up to play other stuff.
I saw a bunch of people saying
So
it
I'm
was
off
like
on Wednesday. Thursday we're gonna play whatever
best,
game
DLC
got the
ever
second
made,
place in
and-
your poll. Thursday night will be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster.
unless he was just ignoring. He was probably ignoring everybody telling him not to get it. And then he was only reading the shit that was like, "Oh, it's great, it's great." So then when he played it, he could be like, "Oh, see what you guys did. You told me to get this," and now he blames them. Yeah. Yep.
And then Friday, whatever
Same
game
shit.
came in third
Different
place in the
day.
poll will play. And then Friday night will be more Oblivion. Saturday is my weekly react day of DSP versus the internet. And so we will chill over on DSP Reacts, and I'll react to your clips. Now, I did things a little
The tractor
differently
con.
yesterday. Okay, what I've been doing is every Sunday, I post up the threads over on DSP Reacts on which you can nominate clips.
Yo, I'll
all
make
right,
an
so
ad
you
like
can
that.
actually,
That's a good idea.
Get your clips watched on the show.
I'm gonna use that
and
idea.
Channel members are competing for a
If you don't
spot
mind.
to get on the show, while ultra level members are guaranteed to be on the show. But here's the thing: every week I've pretty much been posting up the threads, the community posts at the same time. So what ends up happening is the same people who are around at that time have been jumping on those threads, posting up, and they've been getting their videos watched every week. While we've had groups of people in Europe, for example, who are asleep at that time, and then by the time they wake up and go to post up, it's too late. They don't get their stuff watched, and they've been kind of disappointed. They're like, "Man, I'm a member, but I never get my stuff watched. It kind of sucks." So what I ended up doing is mixing it up, and yesterday, immediately after
my
the
God.
end of my first stream, around 4 p.m. Pacific time, I posted up the community poll, or the community thread, and people started posting then. It was different people. And I was like, oh, this is good, because now people in Europe had a better opportunity to actually get their stuff watched, and I think they did. I think there's a few Europeans for sure who never had their clips watched who are now going to get their clips watched on this week's show because I mixed up the time. So I think I might do this every week. Like one week, maybe I'll do it earlier. One week I'll do it later. And I'll do it random, so that way it is still first come, first serve, but it's kind of a random chance. It's not just always the same people every week. All right, so let's see how it works this week. We get different people's clips who get watched and go from there. But I think, I was listening to feedback, and I hope that this worked out for you guys, okay? So Saturday's React Day. Saturday night, we'll continue on with late night chill stuff, probably more Final Fantasy. And then Sunday is the big day, ladies and gentlemen, because this coming Sunday, less than a week away, it is DSP's Fight and Feast Marathon event. I am very excited for this event. It is a Street Fighter hype event. I have not consistently played fighting games in a while. The fighting games I've played over the years have literally just been retro games because I felt that sadly modern Street Fighter kind of fell off with Street Fighter V. Thing is, I'm a lifelong fan of Street Fighter. I've always had Street Fighter in my life and as a part of my content until Street Fighter V came out. And then that kind of ruined it for me because I hated the game. But Street Fighter 4 was giant. Street Fighter 4, I was playing for like 2 years consistently. I put out so many video series about the game and everything. And Street Fighter 6 is gearing up to be a
I don't know. I don't know about the interviews. I have to find out. Um, but I was really hoping and looking forward to hearing from Phil's family.
Special thing. It looks like there's great content for those who want to play the game offline,
I just
single
want some
player.
more insight,
There's
you
an
know?
insane amount of content for those who want to play the game online. There's classic controls, simplified, modernized controls. There's all this stuff to explore. All right. So I'm very excited for Street Fighter 6 coming out on June 2nd. So as a special way to hype up that launch, I'm doing a special marathon on Sunday, May 21st, where we're going to be doing fighting game stuff all day long here on DSP Gaming. I'll be playing classic Street Fighter games in the 30th anniversary collection. You guys will be voting on the game and the characters that I'll be using as I do highest level AI challenge runs live on stream. In addition, there's going to be some fun tier maker events where we're going to rank things in the Street Fighter and fighting game universes against each other. That's always a good time. There's going to be food because my wife is going to make several recipes out of the Street Fighter cookbook, and I'm going to have those available to snack on and show you the recipe in the book and kind of explore and live taste test. And if you guys want it, which it seems like you do, I'm also going to set up a 30-man over-the-top rope fantasy battle royale in WWE 2K featuring fighting game characters from Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and
Doesn't
Tekken,
like wrestling
all
anymore.
of which are going to have new game releases
Doesn't like
this
wrestling
year.
anymore.
So we're going to see what franchise has ultimate supremacy
Okay.
in the ring. All right, so lots of fun stuff. And
What was that laugh,
on top of
dude?
all of that, already
that
I have something
fake-ass
else
laugh,
special planned. So a lot of fun stuff happening on Sunday, May 21st. It'll be a great marathon. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people here. Great opportunity for you to come chill, hang out. And if anyone was thinking of
Bro,
coming
look how
to
much he's
support the
moving.
streams in particular, that day
Bro,
will
look at
likely have a
me.
lot more people than a standing
Look at me.
stream.
Someone
and so you
who's
might want
like-
to swing by that day. Okay?
I mean, I feel
now,
I
one
feel
other thing that
fairly
I haven't
normal,
really addressed,
right?
there is an open beta for Street Fighter 6 this weekend.
I feel fairly normal. I'm a little stoned, right? I had my coffee, just like Phil. You know, pretty much it. And look how I'm sitting, right? I mean, I move a little bit, but look how Phil moves compared to me.
Starting on Friday the 19th, running through Sunday the 21st. And you might say, well, Phil, if you're so hyped for Street Fighter 6, why aren't you playing the beta?
Okay,
Well,
now he's not
there's two
rocking.
really
He was
honest
just
answers to
rocking,
that.
okay?
And first answer
He was
is
just
because I'm already
rocking
doing
before,
this event.
really hard.
It's already had this planned before they announced the open beta, and this is more important to me.
He's
There's
very
gonna be a special
animated.
variety of fun. It's not just the same game all day. So number one, I already want to go through with this event. I've planned it. I think it's going to be great. But number two,
Yeah, right.
the open beta is
I know Phil's full of shit because I have a fucking... My L1 is herniated in my back, so... And when Phil feels like, yeah, I've had a lot of back pain lately, you know, and then he goes like this, yeah, it's like one of these discs up here. I'm like, dude, if you had a herniated disc, you would know which disc it was. Like, I know, it's L1. You know why? Because I went to a doctor, and they told me. You know why I know you're lying? Because you don't know which disc it is. And I still sit more still than Phil does.
literally exactly the same as the two betas they've already had last year. They didn't change anything. They've outright said, we haven't tweaked the gameplay, we haven't
big
added
ups,
any
man.
characters. It's exactly the same as you've already played.
Big up, Scrim fan.
So I've already played it twice. I'm not interested in seeing the same 8 characters a third time. And by the way, if you didn't know,
this thing is embarrassing. I'm sorry. The notification. I have custom notifications for like everything except super chats and like the shit that they just gave me today. So I'll fix the notifications later today. Make it some funny Phil shit, you know.
people hacked the beta on PC since December and have been playing that beta for 5 straight months. Literally, in this open beta, you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands, of try-hard cheaters.
What's up, Sean?
Who've been hardcore playing those 8 characters for the past 5+ months, and all they're going to do is body everyone because they cheated to get unlimited access to this beta they shouldn't have had, and now they're going to be masters of it, just slapping people around. The people who are joining, I can't wait to play Street Fighter 5 for the first time. What the fuck? What the hell's going on? Oh my god, I lost all my health in 10 seconds and the game's over. What?
Oh my god.
It's just bullshit, you know? And I'm way more interested to try out new characters that we haven't seen before, people haven't had a chance to cheat and master already. And quite frankly,
cheating,
they're
not cheating,
I'm
dude.
more interested in characters like Zangief, Blanca, Honda, a returning character like DJ, and I want to see how he's going to play in this one.
I'm sorry, I don't consider getting the game early cheating. You know, it's just not. Like, just get good, Phil. That's all you have to do. Just get good.
He wasn't in Street Fighter V, or the new characters like Marissa, Lily, Manon, JP. Those are my more interesting characters to me. That's who I want to mess around with. I don't care about the 8 characters I've already played with twice in the beta. So for me, it would be a boring weekend, quite frankly. I'm just going to wait for the game to come out. So that's why I'm not doing the beta this weekend. But hey, all of you who are playing the beta this weekend, enjoy. You want to break from it after playing it for 2 straight days? Come on by the Fight and Feast on Sunday, and let's have a chill time together. Sound good?
No, it doesn't. I'm going to change the color of this. Hold on. Sounds
So,
terrible,
after the
Phil.
Fight and Feast, rest of this month, literally, we'll be focused on Zelda, Star Wars, Elden Ring, trying to wrap up at least one of those playthroughs, hopefully by the end of the month. Since Zelda's 100 hours, I'm going to say that's probably the one we're not wrapping up. I don't know how long the Star Wars or Elden Ring playthroughs will continue, but what I can tell you is this: once we finish Oblivion, that is going to be a late night stream slot that now we can take one of those games and start playing it at a night stream, or even start rotating. So we'll have even more gameplay of those games in each week, and I am definitely hoping for great progress, and that by the end of this month, we will free up some of these games, so that way when I start playing Street Fighter 6, that can be the main focus, and we can balance that with other stuff after a few days of hardcore practice and kind of getting, immersed in that universe. So let's see what happens. But the rest of this month, I'm hyper-focused on these games and trying to get as far as I can into them. Thank you to everyone who has been enjoying and supporting the content this month. And I hope you're ready for a second half, because now we're actually officially heading into the second half
printing
of May
money,
as of
Phil.
today.
Basically
it's the 15th.
printing money.
So there
Every
you go.
time he leans, I break a sweat. That's funny.
Very good.
Ham chiller.
All right, I think that's what I had to talk about schedule wise. So now, a quick update on a news story, and then I would like to talk about the topic I want to talk about today.
Why is this guy in his chat adding Music Biz Marty? There's no way that Music Biz Marty is in Phil's chat right now.
Naughty words on YouTube and how it affects monetization. Okay,
I don't believe it.
Because it has affected some things recently, and I'm going to explain how. Well, first of all, the one news story for today is a follow-up on the Activision Blizzard purchase acquisition by Microsoft. So as you know, they have been trying
as long as he can
to buy Activision Blizzard for a while. And it's been in court, it's been with these regulatory bodies. And essentially what's happened is, one body, this UK regulatory body, what they are, have said they feel that this should not go through because of something about cloud gaming. Now, the funny part about that is cloud gaming is in its infancy. You saw things like Google Stadia attempt cloud gaming and fail miserably. There are instances of people who use cloud gaming, but it's definitely not anything, Headphone users, do you hear that noise? What noise?
He was in here? Where, my chat? No way.
Nothing. There's no noise.
I don't believe it.
There is literally no noise unless you just hear an air conditioner. So I don't know why some people are bringing it up.
Yes, it's the air conditioner, Phil. And it takes 5 minutes to fix it,
Nothing.
dude.
It's air.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay,
I hear it right now.
Anyway, so this regulatory body seems to want to hold up this purchase because of cloud gaming. But then when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it and you break it down into their analysis, the things they're saying are preposterous. Like they're saying everyone who is a subscriber of Game Pass is a cloud gamer.
I don't believe it.
What? That's not even true. But that's what their analysis broke down. They're believing that Microsoft has this certain amount of cloud gamers, and because if they buy Activision Blizzard now, somehow this has something to do with holding back cloud gaming. It doesn't even make sense. Like from a business perspective and a technology perspective, the things they're saying make no sound sense. But they're a regulatory body in the UK, and somehow they might actually hold up this purchase, even though they're completely uninformed on the subject. It's pretty hilarious, isn't it? So this morning, the overall European Union who's basically everyone in Europe except the UK, came
Really?
out and said, we are
Big
stamping
up Smarty.
the seal of approval on the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard on the premise that any
Yeah,
games from Activision Blizzard that are owned by Microsoft, which is all of them, will
Yeah,
eventually be available on the cloud.
I've been watching
and those
Marty for a
cloud
while.
versions of the games would
That's
be
what's
able to
up.
be played on other devices, so that it won't lock those games into only Microsoft exclusive consoles and or platforms. So I guess what they're saying is, let's say you put Call of Duty on the cloud, well, eventually you could stream that on a PlayStation. If that ever even happens. Because right now, cloud gaming on PlayStation is incredibly basic. You take a look at the games that you can cloud game on PlayStation, and they're few and far between. The ones that you can actually play, they're pixelated. Like, for example, when I was playing Infamous, right? I played cloud gaming Infamous when I had PS Plus Premium last year. You could still play the game, but it definitely had some issues, a little bit of input lag, and some pixelization in the graphics. For the most part, though, I was impressed. I actually thought that it was a pretty good representation of what the game would play like on PS3, except for the graphics. Like, everything else seemed fine and playable. It was just the graphics that were a little annoying because it wasn't as defined or clear as if you were actually playing it physically on your PS3.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Marty should definitely take up Phil, dude. I'd like to see what he could bring to the table. He's got some pretty good trolls.
But outside of that, I thought that it was a pretty
Phil
good
would definitely
experience.
fall
Now,
for it too.
I guess what'll happen
Decline
is
and sinker.
eventually cloud gaming will advance. And if what they're saying is, let's say in 5 years, cloud gaming has gotten to the point where now you can play really great versions. And if anyone actually wants to cloud game Call of Duty or, you know, Overwatch or whatever it may be, they'd be able to do that.
He basically
and because
created
of that,
Cyrax.
essentially all of those games that are exclusive.
Like you probably wouldn't know who Cyrax is if Marty didn't exist.
Because they were bought by Microsoft, would be able to be played on other consoles anyway. Therefore, the deal is fine and the deal should go through. So, the European Union directly addressing cloud gaming, saying, yes, let the deal go through. So now will the UK budge? Or will the UK be obstinate and be like, oh no, we still feel like, even though it seems like they don't even understand the technology because they're so focused on cloud gaming that no one is using.
Yeah.
How can you say that everyone who has
I'm sure his
Game
history
Pass is a cloud
is
gamer?
long.
That's completely false. The vast majority of people are downloading the games onto their consoles and playing locally. They are not cloud gaming these games. Their statistics are completely wrong.
He should.
We'll see what
Hey,
happens.
let him know.
But the good
Let
news
him
is,
know, man.
for those who wanting this acquisition to go through, the European Union stamping it okay
cares about
is a
wings,
good positive
dude? For
step
real.
forward and a good
Wings
sign
is
that
old
maybe
news,
other
man.
regulators will now
Bro,
even start to loosen up and
look
say,
at
okay,
DSP.
maybe we were a little
Come on,
off
man.
base
This guy deserves
and
it way more.
start to approve it. I don't know. It's just
Fuck
funny because we
Wings,
started
dude.
talking about this, 2 years ago? And we're 2 years in, and we're not even any closer to having this thing approved or going through. It's just crazy how
argue,
the
dude.
business
Put his
works,
efforts
isn't
to
it?
something-
How, like, you
put
can
his
wait
efforts
years and
over
years
here,
and
dude.
years for progress on
Waste his
something
time
as
with
stupid
Wings.
as, I just want to buy a company. Too bad. Wait 17 years. By the time you buy the company, maybe video games will be obsolete. Like, Jesus.
I need Marty on the front lines over here, man. Come on.
Anyway. There you go. Now, I would like to talk about a topic this morning that has directly affected me and many, many, many other content creators on YouTube. All right. It's actually affected me a lot recently. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube monetization and how it has changed over the last several years.
I guess
YouTube
he's going.
keep updating their policy when it comes to monetization. All right.
Okay.
And
strap
how this has
in.
affected
Get your pillows
people
ready.
making content on the site. Okay. Excuse me.
Make sure you got some.
Sorry about that. So let me tell you a little story.
Get some.
I've been a
popcorn,
YouTuber for
get a
15
pillow.
years. Back in the day, when you had ads on your videos, it was the Wild West. Anything went. There was no regulation whatsoever. You could literally put out a video of you saying, fart, 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 dick, McFucklefuck. And you could just say it for 10 minutes straight, and you could slap an ad on it, and it's fine. No one cares. Even if it's the most nonsensical garbage, you could make a video and you get ads all over it, and no one would give a shit. Back in the day, we're talking like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. The ads on YouTube were running like the fucking river of
Okay,
milk
I
and
got
honey.
you. I
The
just
horn
forgot.
of plenty was exploding with revenue everywhere. It was insane. You could get ads on anything, and they all paid a ton. To give you some perspective on this, all right, on a new release day,
Okay, wait,
I
sorry.
would go to
I gotta get
GameStop
this
and I would
rant.
buy a new game. I would come home and I would film a video that I called Release Day Unboxing. So this was before I was even like a streamer. And I would just set up a camera, and for 15 minutes, I would say, here's the new game. Let's look at the box. Here's what it says on the back. Let's open it. Open it. Oh, here's the game. If there was a booklet or whatever, we'd look at that. Any packaging. Okay, here's what I'm expecting from the game. All right, guys, let's go play it. 15-minute video. The video would get,
Gamer words.
let's say, 20 to 30,000
I'm a
views.
gamer.
Okay? Because back then, I was very popular on YouTube.
Let me
That
get some sound
video
effects,
of
dude.
20 to 30,000 views would make more money because of ad revenue
Money.
than the game I bought. You understand? It would pay for the cost of the game. Just the unboxing video. That's how prominent ad revenue was back in the day. It was like sky high. So you could dick around and more than pay for anything you were doing. Remember I used to do DSP Tries It? And I would go get a fast food meal that would cost me like $10, $15. Make a video, and the video would make me a ridiculous amount of money. And like, well, Phil, why did you know... That's why I did those series back then, because it was diversification of my content that actually was paying pretty big. Okay?
I have no idea why that started playing. That was so weird.
And, you know, I will say that persisted probably for a long time, all the way through. Now, what happened was, over the years, a lot of partnership companies and things reduced the amount they were paying.
Oh, that's...
And the reason was that YouTube ad revenue was starting to diminish.
It was my fault, actually.
That's not because... you know, ads were less profitable. It was because there were more content creators, and with more content creators out there, there was more competition.
I just
for
care
ads,
about money,
and it wasn't as many high-paying ads. It was more like, you know, less ads because there were more people demanding the ads. It wasn't as plentiful.
Bro, I'm already, dude. You already sent me an invite.
There was situations where
I'm already in your server.
Cut. It happened to me twice.
I've been lurking on your shit,
where
dude.
they had direct renegotiations of my contract for less money because ad revenue was reducing on YouTube. There wasn't enough ads to go around, basically. Okay. But
yeah, we're
all the way up
until
I would say early 2017, all right, ad revenue remained at a really great level on YouTube, right, Jasper? You know about this. I told you this story before, right?
Oh, are you talking to somebody else? Oh, my bad.
Ad revenue
dude.
remained
I'm
very,
stoned.
very prevalent on YouTube all the way through early 2017.
Yeah, stoner
okay?
moment.
But then something happened in 2017. Sadly, the days of plenty dried up. Here's what happened, okay? After years and years of unlimited ads and basically YouTube putting ads on everything, advertisers started to actually study what they were getting out of YouTube advertisements. And what they started to find was alarming to them. They were investing these large budgets into YouTube advertising, and they were finding that their ads were becoming increasingly less and less effective. The reason being was that YouTube had absolutely no control over where the ads went. So let's say, for example, you run Starbucks' marketing campaigns, and you decide you're going to buy $1 million ad campaign on YouTube for a new Starbucks drink that's coming out this week. So you just say, here, you guys, please put these ads on your videos, and let's get our product out.
Sounds like a waste of money.
So, you know, these ads run, and then you come to find out they didn't really have any impact on your product. No one really ran out and bought the new drink. I wonder why. So they started doing market research, come to find out these ads would just go on any video. You know, some kid.
Yeah, they're putting them on Dark Side Phil's videos. That's why nobody's buying it, dude. They're like, fuck this shit. We don't want this. This guy represents this? Hell no.
Looking at a camera going, hey, 2 views gets the fucking Starbucks ad, right? Or even worse than that, ads that were completely irrelevant. Imagine you're a life insurance company, okay? And you're trying to sell life insurance to adults, and your ads get put on a PewDiePie video where, you know, he's playing a game and screaming at it. Well, how many people watching the PewDiePie videos, him screaming at a game, are going to think about buying life insurance today? Probably not a lot. So the problem was that it wasn't targeted advertising. Instead, it was just advertising thrown against a wall and hope that some of it sticks and someone sees it who's pertinent, but it wasn't effective advertising. Now,
it's advertising
the thing that
in general.
really, the straw that broke the camel's back, as they would say, is that basically they did even further research and found
Can we go back to the early 2000s? Can we just have banner ads again? I was good with the banner ads, dude. Just, cover the website and like flashing banner ads.
Out that their brands were now being advertised and represented on kind of videos that they didn't want their ads on. So, for example, they started finding racist content, okay? Almost content borderlining on outright terrorism.
Well, that's their
all right.
That's their
people
fault,
saying they
dude.
hate a certain group of people and that they should be,
They don't
hurt and stuff
They don't
like
vet
that.
this shit,
They
dude.
found these videos on YouTube and found their ads were being run on those videos. I mean, one of the infamous videos is I brought up PewDiePie. This one, I feel PewDiePie really got railroaded for no reason. Okay?
Yo, what's up, Andrew?
He's in a video and he says the N-word. Now, I don't know the context because I wasn't paying attention. I don't believe there's any context that he should have used that word.
There is no context.
All right? I just don't believe he should have used it at all. But this became like the poster example of here's a big YouTuber.
Yeah, the context was that he like died in the game. So he screamed the N-word. That's the context.
Using a bad word they shouldn't use. And by the way, his content was fully monetized. So this was the excuse where companies like Walmart, Starbucks, all these giant companies spending millions of dollars on YouTube advertisements
PewDiePie fucked everybody,
we don't
dude.
want to do this now.
Wow.
Because look what the content that you're putting our ads on. You're misrepresenting our companies and what we stand for. We don't want this. And they all pulled their ads. So this happened within like a week's time in early 2017. Ad revenue on YouTube went from usual levels to literally less than half of what you were making. So you'd be putting out a video that's monetized on YouTube. It gets the same amount of views you usually get, and you made less than half as much money. And you're like, what just happened? And within a week, everyone started panicking. That's what was called the YouTube adpocalypse, when all these big advertisers put their heads together and started talking collectively and said, we're not getting what we want out of the ads. The ads aren't going to the appropriate parties because there's no way on YouTube to control where ads go. And on top of that, the ads are going on completely inappropriate content that we don't stand for. So we don't want to deal with this anymore, and we're all pulling our ads. Okay?
What's going to happen when they find out you're ban evading?
So,
get rid of them.
That's pretty messed up. Because it hurt everyone. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, this is one or two people affected. This literally hurt everyone on YouTube who was making a living. And overnight, people had to reassess what they were going to do. Some companies went completely out of business. Some people have said, well, I used to be able to focus just on YouTube content, but I can't do that anymore. Now I have to diversify. I have to focus on streaming. I have to focus on sponsorships. I have to focus on content for my Patreon.
Yeah, he was streaming, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he re-uploaded that.
Because now I can't just make videos and make a living anymore because the ad revenue is less than half. Okay? I was one of those people.
I mean,
I was about to go out of business.
As a video
I couldn't afford anything. And then I decided to become a full-time streamer. And it's incidentally, it was during the Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough. I know today I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, but it was during that Breath of the Wild playthrough where I had to basically adapt and say, I'm going to become a full-time streamer now and see if this will work. And the good news is it did. Because here I am 6 years later, still making a living, still going strong. But for every one of me, there was probably 20 people who basically had to quit content creation when the ads dried up. It's pretty messed up. Okay, it is. It's a pretty messed up situation. Meanwhile, the biggest YouTubers were never really affected. The biggest YouTubers were able to roll on because they were already rolling in dough, and they found other opportunities, whether it was sponsorships or whatever. So they kept going. And if you haven't noticed, it's become way more prevalent in the last 5 to 6 years that the big content creators get all these opportunities. Product placement, get a game in advance, get shipped out to a special PR event, because this is now how they're making their living. It's not just about pumping out the videos anymore. It's about having all these other promotional opportunities. But another pattern you may have noticed in the last several years particularly, all right, is basically because YouTube has now instituted changes to the way that they monetize content, okay? It used to be any video on the planet could get an ad. Doesn't even matter what content it is, the length, whatever you're doing, whatever, it all gets ads. But after the adpocalypse, what YouTube had to do is they had to make several changes. One of the changes they did was that both the content creator and the company buying the ads have control over what kind of ads will run on certain content. Right now, I can actually go into an AdSense account that I have, and I can say, I would like only these particular kind of ads and not these. you have the ability to at least try to block certain ads. Like, let's say, for example, you were a staunch Democrat.
I'd rather listen to him beg for money.
Positively did not want any kind of conservative or Republican ads on your videos. You should have the ability to turn them off. Because at least then I can make fun. I can make fun of ad revenue doing that, but you should have the ability to turn off those kind of political ads. But okay, now for the most part, no one does this. For the most part, everyone just likes everything just roll. Okay, but there are some people who have that control and they do execute it, and good on them. You should have the ability to control the advertisements on your content. Now, on the flip side of that, when an advertiser now buys an ad space on YouTube, say, I'm going to spend $1 million campaign, right? What they then do is they have all these criteria they now have to check off, right? What kind of content are you interested in advertising on? What about content that's geared towards adults only? What about content that's geared towards teens? What about content that's sports? What about content that's games? What about content? So you can pick these categories now where you want your ads to actually be shown. So now,
he only really talks about shit
power,
when he's,
which they never had before, which is why the adpocalypse happened to begin with. Okay,
trying to
but
use
another
it to,
thing that has happened in the last few
secretly
years
do some other shit, you know,
language,
ulterior motive.
Okay, and this has been such a gray area on YouTube and such an issue of contention for a lot of content creators, because if you're a content creator that is not creating for children, and you speak your mind and you use profanity in what you're saying, all right, chances are, if you use a lot of profanity, your content is not eligible for monetization on YouTube anymore. All right? You know, there's content out there that used to be able to, you know, I'm going to do a...
Hold on one second. Didn't they make it so if there's any cursing within the first 1 minute, then it gets demonetized? Phil's making it sound like the entire video. You can't say a single curse in the entire video.
Review, but I'm going to use the F-bomb a few times. Well, if you use it too many times, your video will get demonetized. If you say in the first racially charged joke, if you say a joke that has anything to do with gender, if you have a joke that anything could be, you know, anything political, you might get demonetized just for saying that particular.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. If you say something racist, they might demonetize you. Yeah, I could see that. Is that the nugget of truth? What is that?
Thing. Whether or not it even is offensive to anyone, they could demonetize it anyway. All right? In particular, they've changed their rules in the last year to say if you have a video that either...
Bill will leave out crucial information. He'll leave out a tiny detail, but it's like the most important detail, right? It's the detail that's gonna make you think one thing or another. And he's like the master of just like, I'm going to leave out this tiny little thing, but it's going to change your entire perception.
In the title of the video, so you say, oh, you know, DSP swears and says the F-bomb, right?
It's the same thing as lying. It's worse than lying. Dude.
Just saying it like that might get demonetized.
It's more manipulative.
Seriously, even if you don't say the word fuck, you might still get demonetized for just having that in the title, okay? And then in addition to that, in the first few minutes of any video, if you drop an F-bomb, if you say like shit in the first few minutes of a video, YouTube will auto-detect that and demonetize the video. Andrew. You could have a 5-hour-long video, and as soon as you click record, you're like, oh shit, my microphone's screwed up. Can you guys hear me? Oops, you said shit in the first few seconds. Whole 5 hours demonetized.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, now it's the first few seconds. But literally, like, just before, it was like, that information didn't exist.
That's how YouTube is running things now.
Why even backtrack?
In addition, hot topic.
Just lie.
For example,
just go full
like
lie, dude. Why do you do that? Why do you backtrack 5 seconds later?
Any kind of like sexualized content in general.
Just lie.
Seems to have been a red flag on YouTube. Just go when you say those things, you get demonetized. Okay? So you might have noticed in the last few years, certain bigger content creators who used to say things such as, oh my God, you know, sex scandal, now say spicy scandal. They literally won't say the word sex anymore. Like the word is banned from YouTube because they're so afraid of saying it that they're going to get demonetized. I've actually seen gamers doing playthroughs.
They're not afraid.
And if it says
they
fuck,
just know
or if it
they
says,
will.
You know, ass, or if it says shit, they literally put another word in there. They do. They'll say another word. I'm like, You can't just say what it said in the game. You know,
Who
no, they
cares? It's
actually
just a
edit.
way to beat the
They
system,
censor
dude.
themselves in what they're saying in the hopes that their video won't get demonetized if they have a swear word in there.
They're
Now, you
getting
may have
over on a
noticed
corporation.
in my
That's a good thing.
content, this has not really affected anything. I've pretty much stayed true to who I am. If I'm going to swear, I'm going to swear. And that's just who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am after 15 years to try to get more monetization on my
I
videos.
haven't fished
But
in
there's
so long.
many different reasons for that. Okay, reason
Not since
number
I was
one,
like a kid.
I am prolific. I put out a lot of content. In a week's time, I have 6 straight
No,
days of
dude,
full-time gaming and
no.
streaming. I'm putting out tons of videos. Even if
No.
a third of my videos get demonetized this week,
Ugh.
I still got a lot more.
Really?
Plus, I have
Yeah,
a
you're prolific,
15-year body of work, out of which, arguably 13 years of which are monetized. So, at every single day, I'm not kidding you, videos on DSP Gaming,
Yo,
as
what's up,
well as my
Bob?
other archive channels or whatever, they all get demonetized on a daily basis. This algorithm is constantly running, finding naughty words it doesn't like, and demonetizing videos. So, I would argue that probably if you said I uploaded 80, 90,000 videos in 15 years, probably, I'm not kidding, half of those are probably demonetized by now. I'm serious. But at the same time, when you have so much content out there, it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal.
Oh,
if I
for
was
sure.
someone who put out one video a day, or even worse, one of these content creators who only does curated, edited content, like what if you're only putting out one video a week and it's a really long edited video, and now immediately you upload it demonetized because you swore in it? You just wasted a week's worth of your time and hard work. How are you supposed to make a living, right? So the good news is, for my formula, being a prolific content creator, constantly pumping out content,
Sure,
it doesn't
Phil.
really affect me. But for
So
other people,
prolific.
it could massively affect them, which is why you may have noticed bleeping of words, changing of words, saying things in a weird and different way that doesn't even sound right. That's
Phil, what you're talking about is literally like weeks and weeks and months old at this point. Like, this is old news. Everybody already knows how it works now, and they already know how to get around it. Like, it's, you don't have to talk about. Everybody knows, dude. Seriously,
because they're trying to protect their content.
you don't have to
I
tell
can't
us
really
again.
blame anyone for doing that. I completely understand and empathize
I
with
know,
these
I
people.
know. You have a motive. I get it.
Because if you're working your ass off to put out something
Go
meaningful
ahead.
for an audience, and you're trying to make a living doing it, and then to be told after the fact, oh, because you said a naughty potty mouth word, you can never make any money on this video. Like, what the heck? That is insane.
Work the pignosis, dude. Work that pignosis.
At least, here's the funny part about it that I think. How much content on this planet is considered for adults but monetized? Are you telling me there's no TV-14, TVM, rated R movies? Really? You don't think there's any of that?
No.
You don't think there's an audience for that? I mean, obviously there is. And the thing that gets me is that there very well might be advertisers on YouTube that are totally okay with swears in content as long as it's not over the top, let's say, vulgar, insulting, disgusting, as long as it's in good faith, in good jest. Maybe a reviewer who's a little angry and says the F-bomb a few times or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's advertisers who'd be okay with that. But it sure seems to me YouTube just doesn't really care, because these criteria are across the board. There is an algorithm running that auto-detects these things in a video, and when it does, you just get demonetized, regardless of if even you flagged your video and said, hey, I want my video to be adults only. YouTube doesn't really care. They'll still demonetize your video anyway, okay?
This is all fake outrage, dude. Fake manufactured outrage. Like, it's literally like, okay, so start your video, wait 1 minute, then curse your ass off. Say whatever you want, right? So easy, right? It's just the easiest thing, but you have to be up in arms about it, right? Like, you have to be outraged, right?
Now, where this really affects me recently is YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts, all right, at most
that's why,
are allowed
is
to
that
be a
why he's
minute
mad?
long.
Is that why he's mad? Yeah, you're mad because you have to fucking get someone to edit every single short because you curse every like 2 seconds. Yeah, you literally can't monetize any shorts because you curse. So you have to get someone to do it for you. And what, you're having a hard time finding? There should be a dent that can do it. I mean, I've seen them make them before, so it shouldn't be an issue, Phil.
I want you to think about this criteria. YouTube is saying within the first few minutes of any video, you can't swear. If you swear within the first few minutes
curse
of
in
any
shorts,
video
dude,
you
if you want to
upload,
make money.
instant demonetization, okay? But wait a minute. YouTube Shorts are only a minute long.
Yeah, it sucks.
So if I swear in a YouTube Short...
So now if I want to monetize your ass on shorts, Phil, if I want to monetize your ass on shorts, I have to bleep you out and shit, you know? That's extra work for me, you know? That's extra work. Hopefully it's worth it, Phil. Hopefully it's worth it.
That's definitely within the first few minutes of the video. There's only a minute of the video.
I'm going to have to edit.
So guess
I'm gonna
what?
do more editing,
This
Phil.
blanket thing that should really only be applied to long form content is applied to YouTube Shorts. So if you're making a YouTube short and you swear in it, you are immediately demonetized. And on top of that, when you get demonetized, you also get kicked out of the algorithm. So a YouTube short that may be a great piece of work that's entertaining, but it has shit in it, literally will never get seen by the masses on YouTube. It immediately just... You might as well have not have made it unless you only care about your hardcore audience seeing it. All right? Now, let's be honest. In the case of making a YouTube short, you're probably doing it to try to get your channel to get exposure, right? Your core audience already knows about the content you're putting out. When you're doing a YouTube short, you're trying to do a small digestible clip of something that maybe someone who doesn't know who you are would eventually see in the algorithm and say, oh, that's interesting. I like that. I'll go check out the channel.
For me.
But if you're immediately getting demonetized and essentially
now
kicked out of any search algorithm because you swore in a short, you might as well have never made the short. All right?
Well, just don't make shorts, Phil. Nobody cares about your shorts anyway.
Case in point. The other day I'm playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on launch day.
Bro,
and people said, here's some good examples of shorts that you should do. I couldn't do any of them. This is
like a...
all right? I actually had 3 different ideas for shorts.
What, and
every single one that I came up with, I swore in the clip. The best one, actually, was me...
But it's not
having
even good,
the metal bird. When you're up in the Sky Islands, there's a metal bird. You stand on it and you glide off this ledge.
This is just
boring. Flying on it, essentially. What I didn't realize is that the metal bird is timed and will completely disappear for no good reason after a certain amount of time. It starts blinking and then poof, and then you fall and die. And I was like, well, that's definitely a thing you wouldn't know. It's a beginner's trap. That's a classic case of a beginner's trap. Why would you have thought that a piece of metal you're gliding on just would disappear from existence? It doesn't make sense. It's just something you need to know. So, as I'm doing it, I'm enjoying myself. And I'm like, wow, look at all this. All of a sudden, it starts blinking. I say, wait a minute. Why is it blinking?
Why would you think that, like, an egregious e-beggar could exist, like, the way that you do? It's astounding.
Uh-oh. And then it disappears, and I go, oh, shit! As I careen, and then turn into a flattened Link pancake. It's really funny. It was probably the best part of the entire run so far.
It wasn't funny at all. I saw it.
Because it was just a wow, like a moment you wouldn't have predicted. Who would have known it would have happened? And then it happened. It was funny. My reaction's funny. And so, go to do the short, can't make it. Why?
Yeah.
Because I yelled shit.
You died in a game.
And
oh
if you mute it, it's literally just muted for a good 5 to 10 seconds as I'm falling, and it sounds terrible. So either I leave shit in, and now no one will see the short besides a very small amount of viewers of my core audience, who already likely have seen the video and already know about this moment, or I mute it and it sounds absolutely terrible and it's not funny anymore.
It was never funny, dude.
So essentially what YouTube is doing with this censorship is they're ruining content. They are making it so that content that normally would have been funny or honest, or wow, here's a honest moment of how to react to something, becomes junk. And you can never highlight it as a YouTube short. What ends up happening is YouTube Shorts end up having to be almost like what's the word? Sterilized content, right? Like YouTube Shorts can't have anything to do risque, can't have anything. Even, for example, when I was playing Callisto Protocol, all right? So in Callisto Protocol, obviously, as you know, it's a survival horror game. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of gory animations and things in it. There was one case where I actually got kind of like cornered by a bunch of enemies, and they all came after me, and I didn't realize this, and they just it was a funny moment, because I was like, oh no, and my reaction is funny. I didn't swear, but the video got demonetized anyway. Why? Violence. Violence. It's a fucking survival horror game. Of course there's violence, and there's an audience for that.
Yeah, but these advertisers don't care, Phil. And those are the only people that matter right? Like, they just don't want to put, if the game has excessive violence, I mean, do you think an advertiser wants to put, you know, their wholesome ad on a GTA video where a dude's getting like a blowjob from a hooker and then he like shoots a guy in the head? No, they're not gonna want to. They're not gonna want to put an ad on that, Phil. It kind of makes sense. Like, I'm not. I mean, it's like he wants it to be the Wild West again. He wants it to. I mean, I don't mind it. I like that too. But I mean, I don't know. That shit can't last forever though.
So as long as I'm tagging it properly and saying Callisto Protocol and they know it's a survival horror game, why can't I have a short of Callisto Protocol? No, it's too violent.
You have to adapt, dude. You have to adapt, Phil.
So no.
And most importantly, after adapting, you have to not complain, dude. Just stop complaining, please.
No one can ever do a short of Callisto Protocol.
Just stop complaining.
What
dude.
else is there of value
Just
in the game?
Just adapt and deal with it.
The fucking main character picking his nose in the prison? Oh, look, there's no violence in this. Look, you got a big goober.
Yo,
like,
cry more, dude.
What are you talking about? And that's what I mean.
Cry
like,
more, Phil.
Again, with YouTube, they're always
Phil,
like
cry more,
to
dude.
the extreme. First, when they started with the ads, it was the land of milk and plenty. Everything overpays an insane amount. Give ads to every person on the planet. I don't even care what content you're putting out. Make a video that's racist, sexist, terrorist, and we'll monetize it, and you can make money and make a living on YouTube. But then that blows up in their face, and within a few years, the door has to swing the other way to the extreme. Now you can't swear, you can't talk about gender, you can't talk about race, you can't talk about politics, you can't talk about this and this and that. What the fuck? So you went from one extreme to the other. How about the happy medium where everyone can meet where reality is? Because that's the problem in life. You can't have it all the way one way or all the way the other way. The reality is that we have to find
you are not living in reality
and have things that make sense. What YouTube has done doesn't make sense. You're telling me the only shorts I can put out are these really crappy, boring ones where...
This is not reality. This is the fucking Twilight Zone, Phil.
I can't even say a swear word ever. Like, what the hell is that? You know? And it's weird because this also happens with culture. All right? In culture, you have these time periods where things will swing one way, swing the other way, swing one way. When I started on YouTube, you could say whatever the hell you wanted.
That's the adapting part. You know how you have to adapt, figure out the way around, you know? I mean, it's like running up against a bull. Are you going to run straight? No, you're going to die. You're going to die. Like,
in fact, it was actually encouraged that you would be extreme and say ridiculous things that were over the top. That's what would get you attention on YouTube.
Pick
to
your
say
battles,
something
Phil.
really insulting, to
Pick
say
your
something
battles.
really inflammatory. That's the kind of commentary I was doing in my early days on YouTube, because that's what got you, noticed, right? And then all of a sudden,
yeah, I
culture
know, it's
changes.
still up. It's
now
still up on your
that's
channel,
all
dude.
offensive content. Like, well, wait a minute. Well, I was doing it for 3-4 years there because people liked it. Oh, that was offensive. You're a horrible person for doing it. But during the time, everyone got the joke and said it wasn't offensive. Well, now it is. Oh.
Why did he leave it up?
So now we got to change,
why did
right?
he leave up,
and that's what
why
happens.
Did he leave a bunch of
things
racist
change
shit
from
up?
time to time. They swing back and forth.
He's really dumb, dude.
I want to know when we're going to get to the level where people can be
stupid.
smart and not have to go all the way one way or all the way the other, but actually just kind of be real, but not extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm playing Zelda and a funny thing happens, I should be able to swear, and I should still be able to make money on the video where I swear. Now, if you don't want to see that kind of content...
You can, Phil, just not in the first 60 seconds, brother, okay? Can we move on?
You should have the ability to filter it out, and that's fine. But why are you telling me that I can't be myself, right? Now, there's a difference between being yourself and being purposefully offensive, correct? And obviously, I don't want to be
This literally doesn't apply to any of his videos except shorts, right? Because before every video, there's like, oh, it always takes Phil like an hour. Like, he turns the stream on and then it sits there for an hour. So you're good. You don't have to worry about cursing in your videos at all. It's just the shorts, dude. He's mad about the shorts. He doesn't want to have to do the extra work. And that's sad that this hour rant is just for that.
Purposefully offensive either, just to get popular. People do that. They'll go on YouTube and they'll go over the top ridiculous one way or the other to try to get that viewership and to try to get that crazy amount of polarizing attention. But, I just want to be real. And you tell me I have to censor myself
No, you don't. You're
in
not
order to try
real,
to make a
dude.
living on YouTube? I don't feel that's fair.
Yes.
All right? And I know
What?
saying that.
It's not fair. It's not fair that that they want to censor curse words in the first 60 seconds. It's not fair. What about TV? So if they gave you the Phil show on ABC, how about the Learning Channel? They'd probably put you on the Learning Channel, right? Right? What do they do, Phil, when you curse on the Learning Channel? They bleep it. They bleep it out. They censor you. Phil, you can't have a show and not be censored unless you go to, like, I don't know, that one place. Not Kick, the other one, where all the racist people go. That's where you need to go, Phil. You need to go to the racist place. That's where you belong.
A lot of people were like, well, what do you think about the people who say fucked up stuff about
Then you could say anything.
Well, you know what?
Then you could say
As
anything.
long as
Imagine
what
that.
you're saying
Imagine
isn't
that.
incredibly harmful.
Imagine if you went to like some shit where you could just say anything. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see it or not.
They should be able to say it. You should be able to criticize. You should be able to insult. You should.
Rumble.
All right?
Phil, go to Rumble.
But not to the point where
You can say anything,
it gets
Phil.
downright slanderously harmful or so defamatory that you now make someone actually not be able to have a living because you made so many people hate them because you lied about them. That's a little different. You understand? But freedom of speech goes both ways.
So you censor yourself every day.
Yeah, people should be able to swear. People should be able to talk about these risque topics if they want, as long as the content is flagged appropriately and the advertisers can choose whether or not they choose to advertise on said content. I do not believe there should be a blanket law on YouTube
for sure,
saying,
Grim
oh,
Fang.
you swore in the first 30 seconds of your video. You can never make money on that video ever. What? What?
Yeah,
what? How does that even make sense? Right? Or you can literally never have a YouTube short with a swear in it. It'll never be seen by anyone. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know? Again, you know what that's like?
I can't tell
You're
if
in
he's
class.
a good cult
Imagine
leader
you're
or
back
a bad
in
cult
elementary
leader.
school. All right?
I
So
guess
you're
he's
sitting
pretty
there in
good,
elementary
right?
school, right? And the teacher's back is turned
Like, I mean, he
against the wall. And some kid who's an
the
asshole
hypnosis works too, right?
decides he's going to take a rubber band and he's going to pull this back and he's going to snap the rubber band at the teacher's head. Now, everyone sees it happening, all right? And he goes, snap, and he hits the teacher in the back of the head. And the teacher turns around infuriated and says, the entire class gets detention.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Huh?
That's what you get. Yeah,
Why?
that's smart.
Because
you know
I'm
why?
the teacher and you abused me. Entire class gets detention.
Did this happen to you? Phil, were you the kid? Good. You know why? You know why that teacher's smart? Because that turns all his friends against him. That's the 4D chess play, Phil. That's actually a good move. Now they're all going to hate him, you know?
But we didn't do it. Too bad. Group punishment. Everyone gets detention. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what?
See if he does that again.
That's essentially what YouTube is doing. Are there people who have done bad things on YouTube and likely should either be demonetized or have their content monitored for monetization? Yes. Does that mean the entire site should be punished for the work of a few people who have been bad apples? No. But that's how YouTube operates. It's either all or nothing. It's extreme this way or extreme that way. And that's really what I don't understand. You know, you're punishing everyone for the acts of a few small bad actors, and now everyone had to change in 2017. It's a pretty bad situation that's been going on for years and years, and sadly, I hate to say it, it's just getting worse. It seems like now you do have to kind of walk on eggshells. Like I said, for me, here's the good news. I don't care. I'm not making the vast majority of my income on ad revenue. So if half my videos a day get demonetized, it's definitely not the end of the world for me.
Oh, so this is pointless.
For those who depend on that revenue to make a living, like, I mean, take a look at some of these documentarians.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Someone like
you heard him. This isn't for him. He's not saying all this for him. He's doing this out of the generosity of his own heart for every other YouTuber out there. You know, this rant is for you. Amazing.
the King, someone like Frederick Knudsen.
Amazing.
You know, these videos that we've watched, that if they
Such a noble,
can't make
such a
ad
noble
revenue
guy.
on those videos, they're absolutely missing out. You know, they're absolutely losing a lot of income because that's a lot of time and work. What about Angry Joe, who works his ass off to make a high-end,
Why does he use him as an example all the time?
scripted review? Listen, personally, I didn't find
Bro,
the
if I
reviews
was
that
Angry
I've
Joe,
seen of his funny.
I
That
would
doesn't
tell
mean I
Phil
don't
to
respect
keep
the guy
my
for the
keep
amount
my
of work
name out
ethic
of his
he
fucking
has
mouth,
and
dude.
the content that he puts out. That's not fair.
He just
That
uses Angry
his
Joe
video should be
like,
demonetized because he swore in it. That's insane.
as an
That's
example,
ridiculous,
like all the time.
You know? So I'm with these people who sadly are being affected by this nonsense. This should not be happening at all. And I actually feel like YouTube sadly is, you know, slowly but surely kind of going into this, well, we don't care about the personal touch of anything, you know. We're just going to make these giant sweeping automated changes and you just deal with it. And that's sad. You know, so many things on YouTube are abused on a daily basis.
That sucks,
particularly with me, copyright recently. Blatantly
Yeah,
false copyright.
I can
claims hitting the
identify,
channel.
Phil.
They were
Yeah, I can
outright
identify.
fake. You could tell they
Yeah.
were outright fake claims that were not real.
Yeah, it's crazy,
and
right?
YouTube didn't care. That's just
they
sad.
didn't care at all.
Because people could have entire livelihoods
It
ruined
was very
by
sad for me,
broken
Phil.
automated systems, you know?
I'm so glad you're bringing light to this. Thanks, Phil.
Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know for a fact people were like,
Sure,
gee, why did
sure.
Phil not make any YouTube shorts of Zelda so far? I had multiple ones in mind, and I can't make them. It's stupid. I would love to have a couple YouTube shorts on here, but they have swears in them. Like,
Why?
I can't even do that.
'Cause you're-
Right? It's
'cause you're
dumb.
lazy?
And by the way, I will say this because now Dave
Why is it
Baxter
dumb?
is saying
What?
something stupid. He's saying PewDiePie ruined YouTube. PewDiePie did not ruin YouTube. All right?
That's what you
That's
said, Phil.
stupid to say. Now, was he
That's
kind
what
of
you said.
irresponsible in what
Phil
he was
said
doing in
that.
his video? Yeah, he was. Or stream. I don't even know what it
That's
was.
why.
at
That's
this
why
point.
Phil brought it up.
Yes, it was irresponsible to do what he did. But here's the thing.
That's why Phil brought it up.
Everyone makes mistakes.
He was
all
trying
right?
to pin it on PewDiePie.
And everyone has the right to atone for them, right? And I don't think that that's something that PewDiePie has continued to do. If he made one slip or one mistake, he has the right to do that and then apologize for it and come back. That doesn't mean that the entire site should be changed because of it. You understand? And really, he was made the scapegoat. In that situation, when the demonetization happened in 2017, a lot of people pointed the finger at him, saying, oh, well, you were the face of YouTube gaming, and you did that.
Bro,
and by the way, he lost a lot. Did you know he lost his entire YouTube gaming sponsorship? He had, excuse me, not YouTube gaming,
please.
YouTube Red. He had back then YouTube
PewDiePie's
Premium was
fine,
called YouTube
Phil.
Red. He had these
Who gives a
shows
fuck?
that he had actually made for YouTube Red that they canceled. He had them completely filmed and in post-production, and YouTube just said, well, you said the N-word.
He's
Canceled
lucky.
it all.
He
had a contract
he
with
dodged
Disney.
the bullet.
Canceled.
He
Because he made
dodged
one
the
mistake.
bullet on that one.
That's messed up. Like,
he
really.
dodged the
And
bullet.
again, you shouldn't have everyone punished because some one person made one mistake. Right? That's insanity. Like, what is this world we're living in? You
Yeah, he
know,
looks
God
funny.
forbid that you act like a human and you do something stupid once. You know?
He's toxic.
And the thing is, thank God PewDiePie's
like toxic
big enough. It
waste,
didn't matter,
too.
right? He's so big, he still retained an audience, he's still filthy rich to this day. It doesn't matter. But the problem is
Yeah, we
everyone else
know.
suffered because he
We
was
know
a
you hate
human
him.
and made a mistake. That is
Are
so
you,
dumb.
do you
man.
do you,
I
do you
hate
like
that
him
whole
or do you
idea, that
hate
whole
him?
system,
Like,
but
how
anyway,
can he?
now I digress.
how
That was a
can he
long
be
time to
on
talk
in the
about that,
middle
but
of
I wanted to
everything?
kind of talk a little bit about it.
I don't feel
But,
this
you know,
way
I
or
have,
that way.
I have
I'm in
plans.
the
I'd
middle.
say I would love to put out new shorts for you every day. Funny stuff. I have funny stuff for Zelda.
Do
I can't
you
even do it.
hate him
It's like
or
I can't
not?
even put out this short. It's not going to work for YouTube because YouTube is so dumb with the way that they're operating, right?
Bleep it. Oh, you're lazy.
Anyway,
Oh, you're lazy.
thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed
Oh.
that little segment. And now let's move on to shout-outs.
What?
All right? We start off with Jeremy Kyle, who re-upped his membership for 8 months this morning.
I didn't
He said,
enjoy
"No
it
Zelda
at all,
spoilers
dude.
for
That
me.
was
I'm gonna
really
stay for the
bad.
podcast and enjoy."
Okay.
No problem. If you're someone who's actively playing Tears of the Kingdom and you don't want to be spoiled on Zelda, I completely understand. Keep in mind, most people are
I'm
way
sorry,
ahead of
dude.
me.
I'm really
I've only
sorry.
played 7 hours since the game released on Friday. You guys are likely way ahead of me. Today is literally my first talking about Tears of the Kingdom. Support for your playthrough. Right, because I was saying, oh, in Elden Ring, you could use this button to do this on the D-pad. Okay. Now let's continue on.
Okay.
They talk on their secret Discord every night about this, and they're working behind the scenes. Let's get them up on the leaderboard.
Here we go. Found a little nugget here. What do we got, Phil? Troll? You're going to respond to this troll tip, huh? Okay.
Now, just keep in mind that this is all an evil conspiracy. That Jinx is actually a supervillain who's working in cahoots with the League of Super Detractors.
Oh.
And they're working behind the scenes on several different downfall attempts, as well as evil documentaries with several other heinous individuals. And they talk on their secret Discord every night about this and laugh intently about how they're going to orchestrate my downfall. Every day this happens, apparently, according to certain people. So there you go.
You're doing that to yourself.
Oh, by the way, Jinx is also Only Iced Coffee, but Jinx is also Planet Jeff at the same time.
Probably true.
Interesting. But they're also orchestrating my downfall. I just thought you guys should know that.
Also true. Hopefully.
The nonsense that I hear every day is great. Anyway, thank you, Jinx, for a $50 tip. Let's see what Jinx has to say. He says, I'm excited. No, he says, let's kick off the stream right. Excited for Zelda. And I got to say, these people are getting desperate. I don't know why I don't believe that you would actually have real supporters that love your content. No problem, Jinx.
Yeah, what's up, Tanner?
And again, by the way, you're the same person. You understand that, right? Like, there's only one person who is contributing all this time. It's a single person contributing. So Jinx is Planet Jeff, is Only Iced Coffee, is Vidar Viking. Remember him? They're all the same. Oh, by the way, Swaggins used to contribute, so you also must be Swaggins. Okay?
Swaggins is still around. What do you mean? He's still your mod.
You're all the same person. I don't know if you realize this. You ever see that movie starring whoa, God, what was his name?
Significantly supports. There's only one person that significantly supports you.
I can't remember his name. Oh, John Cusack.
From
you ever seen the
Deadheads,
movie
dude?
Where John Cusack
here's a 5, here's a 10.
Is interacting with all these people at a hotel, but you come to find out that it's all just personalities in a crazy guy's head?
Oh, here's a 5, here's a 10. Yeah, and then the real support comes through.
So apparently you are the crazy guy who has like 14 different personalities. So you come to the stream and you contribute.
Here's my allowance money for the week, Phil. You know when he gets those tips where it's like $1.48? It's like a weird amount. So yeah, he probably just emptied his whole bank account. Yeah, that's all he had. It was like his allowance for the week. He's like 12 years old.
Under different identity. Oh, that's the name of it, is identity? Oh, you are the different identities of the same person, but you tip and you contribute under different names. That's what this is. It's not different people. It's all the same person constantly. So we got to clear the air there. Okay. Let's continue.
Yo, what's up?
All right. See, I agree. Someone just sent me $1. It says, you judge PewDiePie for his past, but he matured like yourself. I guess you didn't listen to what I actually said. You actually did not listen to a word I just said, did you? I said, I feel that PewDiePie should not be the scapegoat. He should not be held accountable for the downfall of YouTube gaming and the demonetization of YouTube. You said both things, dude. Everyone makes mistakes.
You said both things,
and just because he made one like that doesn't mean that everyone else should have suffered and then he should have been the target. I actually completely... I'm doing what you're not saying. I'm defending him because I think it's bullshit. No.
Initially, when he brought it up, he spun it. He made it sound like it was like that was the thing. PewDiePie was the thing that ruined it. And then when people call him out on it, this is what he says. No, actually, I wasn't. I actually defending him.
He did get the flack that he did at that time. All right? I think it's really messed up, you know? And he got all these shows that he lost and everything on top of that. He lost a Disney contract.
Now he's doubling down. He's trying.
So he's sorry. I'm the opposite of what you just said, actually. Okay.
Yeah. See? Of course not, Phil. Of course not.
Let's see here. So from Boy, B-O-I, Boy, they did a $6.66 tip. Okay? Boy. My flaming booty. Good Lord, give me a bucket of ice or something. Actually, I don't know if ice would work. Maybe a bucket of water. Or maybe a fire extinguisher. Or maybe just some, I don't know, some Tums or something. But anyway,
some iced coffee?
Do you think the God of War series is over now, or will it continue? Are you crazy? There's absolutely positive. And then you're going to... to extend here today that I'm ignoring. You're saying, you know what, Jay, thank you for reminding me. Shall we check on the poll and see how it's doing? Today's stream, we could maybe get on track for one of the, you know, they said that you could do timed polls, but the option's not, because she said that it had been ridiculously hot in Connecticut, where you could take weeks and weeks and weeks to just get stuff, so long to get through, and we already have other lengthy games I'm juggling, and now there's more lengthy games coming up. And I'll be honest, I do think more people will want to see me play Final Fantasy 16 versus Zelda. I do feel that. So once we get to Final Fantasy 16, this game might be forgotten, and most people might even be burnt out and not care about it, you know? Right now, I'm interested in it. We just started it. It's exciting, but I prefer to see more. Skipping the optional chests in these dungeons for where, dude, I can't clone myself. Especially as I'm getting older, right?
What?
People are going to want more variety. Like, for example...
Oh, I love when he talks about cloning himself. Let's go.
Will be very interested in how I cover Street Fighter 6.
Go.
Right?
Clone
That's going to
talk.
be a focus. All of a sudden, all the focus on these 100-hour games is going to go away, and people aren't going to really be asking for that anymore. So,
Bill, what if you could
I need to be
clone
more
yourself?
selective. The problem is, for
You
the
could clone yourself,
longest
maybe.
time, I made my name on being the guy to play every big game, every big release, and people want to see my take on all these games. Already this year, I've skipped a bunch, and people give me shit every game I skip. But it's like, dude, I can't clone myself. I can't make myself play 17 games at once and expect to get any progress in any of them, right? And then, if I drop a game, oh, you see, Phil quit this one, quit that one. He's such a quitter these days. It's like, so if I don't play games, I get yelled at for not playing them. But if I play them and I can't finish them because there's other stuff going on and I quit, then I get yelled at for not finishing. But then if I continue to play the game, the playthrough's too long and it's boring, why don't I drop it and move on to the hot new game? So, you did it wrong, or you did it wrong. You understand? You can't please everyone all the time. And that's the thing I need to do as I get older now.
Unless you go there. I think their office is in, I think it's in San Francisco. It's like 4 or 5 hours north of me.
Is find a way to balance my content.
But I don't think they would talk to you if you went there. I think they would, yeah, not after what that lady did there. Yeah, hell no. They're not accepting any invitations at the YouTube HQ anytime soon, I don't think.
Out a bit more so that it's not all the same stuff, but at the same time I'm at least playing the games that I think I'll find the most entertaining and will be most entertaining to my audience.
Yeah, all he does is quit.
That's hard. That's very difficult because I have a variety audience. It's not one group of people watching everything. It's a wide variety of people who come by when they see stuff they like. There's people who are only coming by for Elden Ring. There's people who right now are coming just to watch Zelda. There's people who only do late night chill streams. And then I'm sure there's going to be people coming back and say, wow, he's playing Street Fighter 6. I can't wait to see that. These are all different groups of people that watch my content at different times. It's not just the same group here every day. That's a big difference between me and a lot of other content creators. So it gets tough to kind of find a way to please everybody, you know. It is. It's very challenging. It's a daunting task. Okay, guys.
It's daunting.
That was a good podcast. I want to say thank you for watching the show. I hope that you enjoyed it. And, all right. Oh, God damn it. At this point, I don't think I really care. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine. Right?
Now he's on break. Okay, Phil's on break. My bad, give me 1 second. Must get rid of dead air.
Pastor Eric.
Okay. That was pretty terrible. Bro, he ranted the whole time about the thing. He ranted for... Bro, that must have been like a 45 minute.
It's like a faucet that's dripping.
Man, that was a big one.
I can't make it stop.
Maybe an hour.
Damn, my
Could have been an hour rant.
going, my sinuses are inflamed.
That's insane, dude.
My throat is gunked up. What is going on here? Damn. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort.
Oh, peace out, man. Peace out, Grim Fang.
Go. Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip.
Wait, what is it?
Snort.
What is he even playing right now?
Damn, I got the drip. Go. I got the tips. Go. Damn, I got the drip. Go. I got the tips. Go. Clear your throat. Please tip me. Damn. Clear your throat. Blow your nose. Damn. Damn. Snort. snort, snort, go. You drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go. Snort, 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 go. You drip.
Did you guys see this? Did you see Jasper steal my seat when I was gone? Did you see this? He's in the chair.
I got the drip.
How dare you, Jasper Kitty?
I got the drip, go. I got the drip,
How
go.
could
Yeah,
you
big up Snort Hogan, dude.
steal my seat?
I got the drip.
Yo,
go.
what does
I got the drip.
oh, he's playing Zelda? Oh,
today,
So
and
what do you
you're
want me to do?
stolen the seat.
Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm
Okay.
gonna have to clear. Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.
all right. I'm gonna bounce, guys, but I'll catch you guys later. And appreciate everybody for chilling. I'm gonna try to get the stream fixed up and edit some shit, but maybe tonight, maybe, I don't know, maybe stream tonight, but I'll see. Oh yeah, catch you guys later. Big ups, everybody.
King of the Ring, 23. It's not that deep. Big ups, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Look at Mark.
Damn, you business in the trash. It's not that deep. And you spending all your cash. It's not that deep. Damn. Get a job, touch grass, maybe touch your wife's ass. Lay off the red meat. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah, big ups.
It's not
Big
that
ups.
deep. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. That's why you got fucking gout, bitch.
Message
Not that
retracted.
deep. Damn, it's me,
Message
LG,
detracted.
Steve, motherfucking Sam. We're going on a jet and we're going to Japan, bitch. It's not that deep. Yeah, it's not that deep. Your business in the trash. It's not that deep. And you're spending all your cash. It's not that deep. Your channel's getting fucked. It's not that deep. Tonight you getting caught. It's not that deep. Damn. Get a job, touch grass, touch your wife's ass, lay off the red meat. It's not that deep. Damn. It's not that deep. How do you expect not to get haters? If you're dog shit, even on your best behavior. Fuck you, DSP, you piece of shit. King of the Ring, 23. Let's go.